Okay, so this sound is so loud, and I'm just, let me see if this reduces. Yeah, that's better. Okay, that's better. It's driving me crazy. Okay, so, um, so a couple tips or things. Let's see what's one thing I've noticed in maintenance is that I thought that I was having stomach problem from overeating, and I was having stomach problems because my stomach was having a hard time with beef, and I didn't know that because I actually ate beef like after the first week, on my first round, and this time I'm 3 weeks in and I still have a stomach reaction to beef, and it stays for a while, 4 or 5 hours afterwards. I still have a stomach ache. So this was very important for me to learn that I thought I had overeaten, but actually it was some sort of inflammatory response. So I think it's important to distinguish that overeating versus feeling bloated and full because of what I ate. When I realized that I could take some baking soda and water and it would go away in like 10 minutes, I realized that I was actually not eating enough throughout the day. I was not eating because I felt totally bloated and full, and sick to my stomach. Um, but and I thought I was doing good, but actually I just had the appearance of being overfed. So it's good to, and I think the baking soda and water, it works so well. I'm not quite sure why, but that's just the way to go for that. Within 10 minutes, I seem to be able to get rid of any gas and my stomach's back to normal. So that's been really helpful with my stomach aches in the after the HCG during these experimental phases. That's what I'm doing, is experimenting with food and experimenting with portions as well. And the way that the problem is that you get sick if it's not working for you or it's too much. And so, enduring that and learning from it is the point here. So there is going to be some time where I'm not feeling well and can help myself to feel better. So that was a big thing, big learning. Um, so the other thing is that happened with dairy as well, where it was several hours after I ate just like two tiny pieces of whole milk cheese, and I had a stomach ache for like 5 hours. So it's just bizarre because I've never even noticed that or known about it at all. So now it was an interesting thing. This person I consulted with, who was a very terrible, terrible nutritionist, but she, knows the basics like I suppose anybody would. She said that the to start with dairy, like for example with dairy, starting with the whole milk, like the whole brands, not the non-fat, starting with the whole, uh, I can't remember if it was yogurt or cheese. I think cheese was first, and then the more going to the whole fat, more liquid stuff like yogurt, and then finally going to the liquid versions like milk. So that would be the last thing. And then she suggested to do like goat milk and or goat cheese, goat yogurt, and goat milk. Doing goat before I did the cow milk because I'd be less likely to be sensitive to the goat milk. Turns out I really don't like goat milk anything, so I'm not really. I drank some of it. I might have had a reaction. It wasn't severe, but I just, it's disgusting to me. I like goat cheese, and I didn't have a reaction to that. So So yeah, so the dairy is something I'm needing to move towards here. That's going to be the next step, I think, because I'm pretty secure about nuts, but dairy I'm going to be testing. There's many sources of dairy, so I've got a whole list, and I'll be testing those. So let's see, what else did she say about the elimination diet? That was, well, this idea of eating a lot of whatever the substance is, it was her belief that we should stay within the standard diet guideline for the however many portions we were eating for that day, what the maintenance portion would be, for example, and just staying within that amount to test the food and not eating a bunch of it. So that was a guideline, I guess. And yeah, so all right, thanks.